Gunna, full name Sergio Giavanni Kitchens, is an American rapper, singer, and songwriter. Initially rising to fame in 2018, he has since worked with the likes of popular artists such as Drake, Future, and Post Malone. More recently, following Gunna's release from prison, he released the album A Gift and a Curse. The album expressed Gunna's thoughts and emotions in relation to the controversy surrounding him being released, while his close friend and business partner Young Thug was not. This album would go on to become a success, with one song in particular, Fuck You Mean, being in the top 10 on a number of different streaming charts. So, where did it all start? Gunna was born in College Park, Georgia, in the United States of America. He was raised by his mother and has 4 older brothers. He began making music at age 15, inspired mainly by listening to artists such as Cameron, Shingy, and Outkast. An interesting fact about his schooling is that he attended North Springs Charter School of Arts and Sciences, where both Usher, an American R&B singer-songwriter and recording artist, and Playboi Carti, an American rapper, had also attended. Gunna also attended Langston High School. In 2013, he released a mixtape Hard Body under the name Young Surge. Which name do you prefer, Gunna or Young Surge? Where you could say things really started to fall into place for Gunna was around the year 2016. Whether Gunna knew at the time or not, this is where you will see lots of things started to align for his career. So prior to 2016, Gunna was introduced to Young Thug through Keith King Troop, who was a mutual friend and community figure. Unfortunately, Keith died in December of 2015. This connection that Gunna now had with Young Thug eventually led to him being featured alongside rappers Travis Scott and Gucci Mane on Young Thug's song Floyd Mayweather. This song was on Young Thug's commercial mixtape, Jeffrey. Now in October 2016, Gunna released his debut mixtape, Drip Season, through YSL Records. YSL Records is an acronym for Young Stoner Life Records. It is an American record label based in Atlanta, Georgia. In fact, it was founded in 2016 by Young Thug himself. Artists of YSL Records include Gunna and Lil Keed, as well as more. There are also several other artists that have expressed allegiance to YSL, but are not officially signed. These artists include Future, Lil Baby, Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, Lil Gotit, Nav, Travis Scott, and Slime Life Shorty. In May 2017, Gunna released his next mixtape, Drip Season 2. This mixtape featured many popular Atlanta and YSL artists such as Young Thug, Playboi Carti, and Offset. One song on the mixtape, which was actually named YSL, was on a Grand Theft Auto radio station. This song featured Playboi Carti, and later that year, in November, Gunna released his debut extended play, Dripple Drown, in which his record producer and close friend Wheezy entirely produced it, with a sole guest appearance from none other than Young Thug. Fast forward 4 months, in February of 2018, he released the commercial mixtape Drip Season 3, with guest appearances from Hoodrich Pablo Juan, Lil Durk, Nav, Metro Boomin, and Lil Yachty, as well as additional features on the deluxe edition including Lil Uzi Vert, Young Jordan, Young Thug, and Lil Baby. Both the regular and deluxe editions were released together. 2 months later, in April of 2018, Gunna released the single Sold Out Dates, featuring Lil Baby. Lil Baby and Gunna were at this time already close friends and frequent collaborators. This particular song went on to become one of Gunna's mainstream recordings, receiving millions of streams on platforms like YouTube and SoundCloud. An interesting fact is that this song was released as a non-album single due to leaks. In August 2018, Gunna appeared alongside Nav on Travis Scott's single Yosemite, which was a standout song from Travis Scott's third studio album, Astroworld, which in fact was also the highest selling album of that year. The verse in the song, which was performed by Travis Scott, mimics Gunna's verse in sold-out dates. The majority of the song's popularity went towards Gunna's appearance on the chorus. So at this point, Gunna had proven his talent and had made connections in the industry. In September 2018, Gunna and Lil Baby released a collaborative single called Drip Too Hard, which would be the lead single of their collaborative mixtape named Drip Harder. The single peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The mixtape was released on October 5 and included appearances from Lil Durk, Nav, Young Thug, and Drake, and it appeared at number 4 on the Billboard 200. At this point, it's noticeable that not only was Gunna seeing a lot of success in his music, but he was cranking out these singles and mixtapes. Not long later, in February 2019, Gunna released the single One Call, which became certified platinum and served as the lead single of his debut studio album, Dripple Drown 2. 10 days later, he released the second and final single, Speed It Up. The album Dripple Drown 2 was released 11 days later. The album featured Lil Baby, Young Thug, and Playboi Carti. This album peaked at number 3 on the 200 chart. The next release came 6 months later, on August 16th, 2019. Gunna featured on Young Thug's single Hot from Young Thug's debut studio album called So Much Fun. The song Hot reached number 1 on Apple Music. In October, the song was remixed with an additional feature on a verse from Travis Scott. In fact, the remix was released on Halloween. The song then eventually peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. Gunna is also featured on 2 more songs from Young Thug's So Much Fun album, including Surf and Diamonds from the deluxe version. The deluxe version was released in December 2019. Now, in more recent times, and once Gunna had seen quite a bit of success in the music industry and was cementing his position as an internationally recognized artist, Gunna continued to push out new music regularly. In February 2020, so at the time that the COVID-19 pandemic was becoming an international problem and people would soon be in lockdown all around the world, Gunna was featured on 3 songs. He appeared on Pop Smoke's Dior remix, as well as Marlowe's My Hood. Additionally, he was featured on a Boogie with the Hoodies song, Numbers, which also included Roddy Ricch and London on the track. In March 2020, the lead single to Nav's third studio album, Good Intentions, was released. This song was called Turks and was a collaborative single with Gunna and also featured Travis Scott. Gunna was also featured on the track Codeine from Nav's album. The song Turks was interestingly the second time these 3 artists had collaborated on the same song, following Travis Scott's Yosemite. Just 6 days later, Gunna released a collaborative track with producer Turbo and Young Thug titled Quarantine Clean, obviously referencing the COVID-19 pandemic. However, just prior to this, Gunna had released the song Skybox. It was released with an accompanying music video. In May 2020, Gunna released the album Wanna. Wanna featured Young Thug, Neshi, Lil Baby, Roddy Ricch, and Travis Scott. This was his second studio album, and in fact, Skybox was the lead single of this album. Wanna debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, becoming his first number 1 album. In July of 2020, Gunna released a deluxe version, which contained an additional 8 songs, featuring guest appearances from Yak Gotti, Future, Nav, and Lil Uzi Vert. In August, Gunna and hip-hop collective and record label Internet Money released a single, Lemonade, featuring Don Toliver and Nav, Quite some time later, in April 2021, Gunna released a collaborative album with Young Thug and their record label Young Stoner Life, titled Slime Language 2. Fast forward quite some more time ahead, now to January of 2022. Gunna released his third studio album, Dias Forever, which is the fourth and final installment in his Drip Season series. The album features guest appearance from Future, Young Thug, 21 Savage, Drake, Kodak Black, Chloe, Lil Baby, G Herbo, Neshi, Chris Brown, Young Blue, and Roddy Ricch. A lot of big names. In February 2022, Gunna teamed up with sustainable food waste management and hunger relief company Gunna to open a free grocery store at Ronald E. McNair Middle School, which he had attended as a teenager. Now, unfortunately, shortly after the release of Dias Forever, in May 2022, Gunna was arrested. This took place 2 days after alleged co-conspirator Young Thug was arrested in a 56-count RICO indictment against the YSL gang. That's right, not Young Thug's YSL record label, against the YSL gang. See, Gunna and Young Thug were among 28 persons associated with YSL who were charged in a 56-count Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, also known as RICO, indictment filed by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. On May 11, 2022, Gunna, Sergio Kitchens, turned himself in to authorities. Kitchens was denied bond, and his trial was scheduled to begin more than 6 months later in January 2023. In October 2022, Kitchens was again denied release from jail ahead of his January trial. On December 14, 2022, Kitchens pleaded guilty to a single charge of racketeering and was sentenced to 5 years in prison, with 1 year commuted to time served and the rest of the sentence suspended subject to probation conditions, including 500 hours of community service. He was released from jail on the same day. This sparked speculation on the internet surrounding Gunna's loyalty to Young Thug. However, the full story is still unconfirmed. 5 months later, Gunna released the track Bread and Butter, in which he speaks on his arrest and allegations that he snitched on the YSL gang. On his 30th birthday, Gunna announced a new album called A Gift and a Curse, which was released a day later. This album contained his first top 10 solo single, Fuck You Mean. The rest of the story of the rise of Gunna, well, that's still being written. To see the rise of Gunna's partner, Young Thug, watch this video.